Alright guys, welcome back. My time with the 1995 Civic sedan budget work car is probably up. This thing is posted for sale on my personal Facebook page as well as my Instagram. I've got somebody coming to look at it tomorrow. By the time this video goes up, this thing will probably be sold. I've got it all cleaned up, ready for the new buyer to come check it out. I'm kind of sad to see this car go. It's really done me well for the past 2 years as a daily driver, driving it about 50 miles every day. So what I'm going to do now is actually show you the reason why I'm selling this car and getting rid of it. This has been my daily driver, like I said, so that means I picked up a new daily driver. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you've probably already seen it, but it should be a familiar car to some of those on Instagram. But let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, well here it is, my new daily driver, a 2001 Honda S2000. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll recognize this car because I actually owned it last year. I owned it for about a month or two last year. I bought it really just to clean up and sell. It actually had the OEM hardtop on it last year when I bought it. The paint on it was really bad shape. It was faded and cloudy. It was flaking off really bad. The wheels were flaking really bad. Overall, it just wasn't in great condition. It needed a full set of brake calipers. They were locked up. It had some oil leaks, different things like that. I took care of a few of those items and sold the car. I made a little bit of money. Kind of getting the itch for an S2000 again, so I was really looking on Marketplace the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I ran across the seller that actually bought my car last year was selling this car, and I recognized it. Turns out he repainted the car. He put a new soft top on it. He did keep the OEM hardtop, which really, you can debate whether I got the short end of the stick of that because the hardtops are worth about $6,000. And the car here, it's got a new paint job. It's got a new set of AP1 wheels. It looks really nice. It's got an eBay OEM style spoiler on it. It does still need a little bit of work. Seats in there aren't in great condition. And the suspension needs to be updated. The tires on here, the date code on these tires are the original tires. They're from 2003, I think is what it is. So they have very few miles on it. They probably came off of a 2004, or actually a 2003 S2000. The seller that sold it to me most recently pulled these off of an auction car that only had 6,000 miles on it. So the wheels are in really nice shape. Tires are 20 years old. They really got to go as soon as possible. I don't really want to be driving on those very long. Now, one bad thing that has already happened is the fact that the tow hook bumper plug has popped out. You probably saw it on some of those feature videos just a second ago. The styrofoam underneath the bumper, it wasn't perfectly placed, and so it was putting a little bit of pressure on that plug and it popped out. I've already got one on order from eBay that's paint matched. It's an OEM part. So that will pop right back in there. I'll probably have to pull the bumper off and readjust that foam back there before I put it back on because I don't want to lose it again. Now, what this thing really needs, first of all, are tires, like I said, but it also needs a front lip. If you've seen some of my previous S2000 videos, you know that I like the AP1 OEM style front lip and the side spats back here. I haven't ordered the side spats just yet, but I did order a front lip. And hopefully we'll be getting to that in this video, getting it sanded down, painted, and installed. I'm not going to show a lot of that process because I've already shown it previously. I'm just ready to get that front lip on here and clean this front end up because it looks kind of naked without it. And I think it really makes it look a lot more sporty whenever it has that front lip on here. Now, I was actually looking for a white AP1 with a white hardtop. The hardtop was optional because I can get one later if I'm ready to drop the money on that, which I'm not ready to do just yet. But I could not find a white one in my price range that was in good condition. So I settled for the worst color. Now, I know some of you guys really like the silver. This is the Silverstone Metallic. But silver is definitely my least favorite color other than like a green. I know a lot of you feel strongly about that, and that's all right. Everybody's got their own opinions. I think the white looks the best in the S2000 here. But I never have owned a white one. I've owned a black one and a red one, and I really like the black and the red. Black is really hard to take care of. I own a lot of black cars, and they never look clean unless you have just washed them. Silver, for a daily driver, honestly, it's going to look the cleanest, the longest, because it hides a lot of dirt and dust. Worst case scenario, I just wrap the car and make it white. I'm not a huge fan of wrap. I've never personally done it, but I've seen some wrap cars that look really clean. What I don't like about the wraps is the fact that the door jambs and the engine bay never match, and that's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but it's going to be a daily driver, so I'm not going to put too much stock into making it look pristine. I just want to take care of it, make some upgrades to it with the suspension, tires, and the front lip, just some appearance mods, things like that. I'm going to take care of the maintenance items. It's got a small oil leak around the valve cover gasket, and the seats in there need to be reupholstered. I may eventually do that. No big deal on that. I can live with that for right now. So let's go ahead and unbox this front lip and go ahead and get it prepped and see if we can get this thing test fitted on here and then ready for paint. Alright, well, this front lip actually fits up here really well. This is actually the second lip that I have bought for this car. The other one came in a few days ago, and I took a chance on it because I had previously bought one from the seller Advanced Tuning on eBay, and it did fit up. It was the one I put on the red car. I took a little bit of dremeling to fit, and you actually had to put the rivet brackets on yourself. The one that I got from eBay that wasn't from Advanced Tuning, it was 50 bucks. It was a really thick polyurethane. It was kind of wavy here in the front, so it really would have taken a lot of hours to get it to look right and to fit right. So I just cut my losses on that one and took a chance on the Basin R one. I've heard a lot of good things about Basin R. That's what this one is. And honestly, I took it out of the box, took the heat gun to it, to retain, to take it back to its original shape because it was folded up just a little bit. It went back to its shape as you saw, and this thing bolted right on. The gaps are amazing. There's a small little tiny gap right here, but honestly this thing's not even bolted up. I just did finger tight on the bolts, so I'll be able to fill that gap in a little bit more, and I'm going to use the OEM trim as well to go between the lip and the bumper, so I'll leave a part number for you guys for that, and we'll put that on once it's painted and clear coated. So honestly, I'm going to pull this thing off of here, use some red scuff pad, some degreaser, get all that polyurethane mold release off of there as much as I can, and then that thing should be ready for primer, and then it'll be ready for paint and clear coat, and hopefully by the end of this video, this front lip will be painted and on the car. So let's keep moving.